I'm here with Dominic Campbell of FutureGov at an event called Crowdsourced Council. There's all sorts of interesting tools, but first of all, why Crowdsourced Council? What does that mean?
Yeah, it is a bit of a geeky term, I have to admit, but essentially what it means is bringing together the opinions of many people, essentially. How do you actually go to where people are talking and having opinions? People aren't as apathetic as people like to make believe, but we're just not listening in the right places. So what we're trying to do is encourage councils to create new avenues for trying to understand people's opinions, I guess, trying to listen better.
And I guess maybe a year or two back, councils will be thinking they've got to build more applications to do this, and consultants like yourself would be selling services to them to do that. But it's much more open now, and you're kind of creating a marketplace for other people to show their wares. Is it a different scene now?
Yeah, totally. I mean, when I started FutureGov Network, it was essentially around how can we bring interesting people who don't often get heard in the marketplace. Not all private sector is bad, believe it or not. How can you bring those people to show they're really good and useful tools for public value to the right people in government, so that they can start to use them, and try and move the culture slightly to a more open, more collaborative, more free culture than previously.
And briefly, what sort of tools have we got here today?
So we've got a real selection, actually. So it's from the sort of more generic, what's your opinion? You can ask all sorts of things. That would be the kind of user voice end of the spectrum, or the audio boo end, where you can leave a voicemail, essentially a podcast of your opinion, right through to something more democratic engagement focus, something like use, which is about getting elected officials to answer, and then some that almost straddle the two worlds, something like quiet riots, which is both inside and outside of government, a bit like we tend to do at FutureGov. Actually, it's kind of throwing stones at government, but then also wanting to say to government, do you want us to help you understand what these people are saying, and use that effectively for organisational change?
So, socialbysocial.net, modest ning space, talking to IDEA at the moment about how we can encourage more knowledge sharing and foster more of a marketplace here. Do you think there's more to be done in this space?
I do. I think we're getting used to it. I think all of us are getting used to it. I think it's difficult in the sort of social entrepreneur space to find a way to connect into government when you've got something really good and you think you know how to solve some of these sticky social problems, and you're not just trying to make a quick buck, but you are trying to change things. And on the other side, how does government actually get beyond just being bombarded by some of the big corporate logos, which are so loud and in your face when you're inside government? And how do you find these more niche products? And so, yeah, I think we're definitely onto something, but there's more to be done.
So this is a space where obviously people are selling, but people are prepared to share what they're talking about, all, I guess, in the spirit of social media.
Yeah, absolutely, totally.